There are places you avoid, and people you judge from a distance. But sometimes, in the most unlikely of places, you find a quiet genius. This is a story about a man named Walter, whose hands spoke a language far deeper than words. Walter was a man of few words, his face often smudged with grease, his clothes worn from years of honest work. His small auto shop, tucked away in a part of town most people hurried through, was more than just a place to fix cars. It was his sanctuary, a quiet corner where he could lose himself in the precise dance of gears and engines. He wasn't just a mechanic, he was an artist of machines, a master of metal and motion. But to the outside world, he was just an old black man in a dirty garage. One afternoon, a screech of tires and a loud curse broke the quiet peace. A sleek, expensive sports car, shining like a jewel, skidded to a stop right in front of Walter's shop. Out of it stepped a young woman, Chloe, dressed in designer clothes, her face a storm of frustration. She looked around at the dusty street, her nose wrinkled in disgust. "Oh, great," she muttered into her phone, her voice sharp and loud. "I'm stuck. My tire blew out, and I'm in. I don't even know where this is. And there's just some old guy in a garage. He probably doesn't even know what an engine is." Walter, who had been carefully cleaning a part for an old truck, simply looked up. His eyes, kind and tired, met hers for a brief moment. He didn't say anything, just gestured with his chin towards the empty bay, inviting her to pull her car in. Chloe rolled her eyes and slammed her car door. As Walter slowly walked toward her car, she kept talking loudly on her phone. "He's so slow. This is going to take forever. I bet he'll mess it up. This car is worth more than his whole life." She laughed, a brittle, cold sound that echoed in the quiet garage. "I mean, look at this place. It's practically falling apart." Every word was a small dagger to Walter's heart. He had built this garage with his own hands, put his entire life savings into it. He had spent decades designing engines for the very kind of luxury cars Chloe drove, pushing the limits of speed and performance. He was a brilliant engineer, respected by the best in the business. But he had grown tired of the corporate world, the endless meetings, the greed. He just wanted to work with his hands, to fix things, to find the beauty in a perfectly running engine. This small, run-down garage was his freedom. Yet, here was this young woman, so quick to judge, so blind to the quiet knowledge in his eyes. He worked on her tire, his movements slow but sure, his practiced hands moving with an almost gentle touch. Chloe leaned against her car, scrolling through her phone, sighing loudly, and making impatient noises. "Are you done yet?" she finally snapped. "I have places to be." Walter finished, tightening the last bolt. He wiped his hands on a rag and looked at her. "All done," he said, his voice a low rumble. Just as he spoke, another car pulled up. This one was even newer, even more expensive than Chloe's, a futuristic concept car that hadn't even been released to the public yet. Out of it stepped a man in an expensive suit, his face showing a mix of worry and relief. It was Mr. Hayes, the CEO of one of the world's biggest luxury car companies, a name that would make any car enthusiast gasp. Mr. Hayes didn't even look at Chloe. He walked straight past her, his eyes fixed on Walter. He extended his hand, his face breaking into a wide, genuine smile. "Walter, my friend. We've been looking everywhere for you. You're a ghost." Chloe's jaw dropped. Her phone slipped from her hand and hit the concrete floor with a soft thud. She stared, wide-eyed, as the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company treated the old guy like a long-lost brother. "Walter," Mr. Hayes continued, his voice full of respect and urgency. "We have a major problem with the new Apex prototype engine. We've thrown every engineer we have at it, and no one can figure it out. We tried calling you, but your number wasn't working. We need your genius, old friend. You're the only one who can solve this." He turned to Chloe, who was still speechless. "There isn't a single person on the planet," Mr. Hayes said, his voice serious, "who knows more about these machines than Walter. He designed the engine in *your *car, young lady. And half the other luxury cars on the road. I'd trust him with a billion-dollar prototype, without a moment's hesitation. Walter just smiled, a small, knowing smile that reached his tired eyes. He picked up Chloe's keys, which had fallen to the floor, and gently handed them to her. "That'll be $45, he said, his voice calm and steady. Chloe took the keys, her hands trembling. She stammered out an apology, her face red with shame. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I was so rude." Walter simply shook his head, a kind sadness in his eyes. "It's all right, child. People usually don't." He took the money she offered, then turned to Mr. Hayes. "Let me finish up this old truck, and then we'll take a look at your prototype. Just need to make sure this one gets home safe." He walked back to his workbench, his grease-stained hands picking up his tools once more. He didn't need the apologies, the praise, or the recognition. His quiet wisdom, his profound skill, had spoken for him, louder than any insult. And in that dirty, unassuming garage, a young woman learned a lesson about judgment, humility, and the true meaning of greatness. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that inspire, challenge, and stay with you.